I have all the power. They want me, but they can't have me.
Mad Men is the show breaking records, caning it in the ratings and getting 2 hat tricks of the top awards any TV show can get. 3 series have so far earned 3 Golden Globes and 3 Emmys for Most Outstanding Drama and did it 3 years in a row. Who would have thought that a chain-smoking, heavy-drinking, womanising loner of a man could do that?
Well, here I am.
I'm talking about Don Draper, the advertising genius of 1960s Madison Avenue, whose work and home life have captivated viewers worldwide.
Whatever you want, Don.
Even President Barack Obama loves the show and wrote a letter to the cast and crew wishing them all the best for season 4. And that new season is about to arrive at your place on Movie Extra, 8:30 Thursday, September 2. So you'll want to make sure you're all caught up on the action. Here's the story so far. Let's start with the main man, Don Draper. Wife Betty discovered his secret past and his real name.
Dick. Is that your name? I know all about you.
The Grace Kelly lookalike was not impressed, so after the fighting came the split.
I made an appointment with a divorce attorney, and I suggest you do the same.
Meanwhile, back at the office, a different kind of divorce was brewing.
You neglected to tell me that our guests have arrived.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
The British invaded Sterling Cooper with their posh accents.
I've heard that.
They waste paper because they use it to sop up spilled drinks. Right after their mid-afternoon naps.
Then started tearing up the place and tightening belts.
The amount of pencils, pens, pads, paper and postage that are currently being consumed suit a company 4 times our size.
Who the hell is in charge? A bunch of accountants trying to make $1 into $1.10? I want to work.
With no alternative but to bust a move, Don busted the biggest move of all. More about that in a minute. First, let's catch up on Betty Draper. Betty could finally tell the wood from the trees when it came to Don's many affairs, and it was Don's wood in the middle of many female trees. She's not happy, but then again, she never is she? Even when she stepped out and tried to hug it out with other men, it always seemed kind of tragic.
Oh.
And who can forget her A-grade parenting skills?
Sally, go watch TV.
Go watch TV. Go bang your head against the wall.
She's a child. She'll get over it.
And someone who tried to seduce Betty in her own kitchen was Don's colleague and best drinking buddy, Roger Sterling.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and brag about how big I am.
The story so far with Roger is that he successfully executed Out with the Old,
To cancel it or not.
and In with the New.
I get to do what I want to do, so stop trying to tell me that you know better.
Okay, so both women give him grief, but hey, nothing like a midlife crisis to get you back in the saddle, as long as it's a different saddle made of much younger leather.
No one thinks you're happy.
The sad thing was seeing Roger and Don fall out.
They think you're foolish.
Their mammoth, irresponsible drinking sessions, girl chasing, and ridiculously sexist banter is one of the main reasons Mad Men is so addictive.
You're not like her. Physically a little bit. Don't tell me that makes you sad.
And wasn't it fun to cringe at this totally racist singing performance at his own wedding? Now, what about Joan, also known as Red?
Greg has made it perfectly clear that come July 1 and he's chief resident, I better watch out.
Joan satisfied her rose-coloured dream of marrying a surgeon, but it turns out he's a crap doctor.
He said I had no brains in my fingers.
But he wrote you all those nice evaluations.
Damn it, Joan.
And he's not as red-hot as Red when it comes to the bedroom shuffle.
Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. I couldn't fake it.
For Joan, life away from the ad agency was kind of crap. And let's face it, everyone liked having Joan around. Good thing she got another chance at going back to work in the big finale episode. More about that in a moment. So where's that oily little ferret Pete Campbell in all of this?
My father's dead, but I know he'd be interested.
Pete was really struggling to get his wife pregnant.
I'd like you to schedule a time with a nurse for a semen analysis. Whenever she's free.
But had no trouble getting Peggy up the duff. Their secret lust child is out in the burbs being raised by Peggy's mum. At work, he continued to pretty much say the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Well, as they used to say at the freshman mixer, when you get a yes, you go home.
And tried way too hard to compete with guys who didn't really try at all. And he still managed to lose and look like a wanker. But that's why we love him. And that brings me to Ken Cosgrove, who has more talent than Pete, but less naked ambition. Pete and Ken were both told they were head of accounts.
We're making you head of accounts.
Spectacular.
I wanted to inform you that you're now head of accounts.
Excuse me?
Mr. Kimball.
Then later told they were both co-heads of accounts. Pete wasn't happy, but being a good old boy, Ken was. Ultimately, he beat Pete to the top job, but Pete would live to fight another day in the big season 3 finale. We're getting closer to that sensational cliffhanger ending, but no catch-up would be complete without a look at the transformation of Peggy Olson from drab frump to professional sophisticate. Peggy is flying the flag of feminism and she doesn't even know it.
They passed a law where women who do the same work as men will get paid the same thing. Equal pay.
She's prim, she's proper, needs a stylist, but hey, she's so real, she's unreal. Peggy keeps the baby a secret, but makes no secret of her ambition. None of the guys her own age do it for her, but an older colleague does. And amazingly, it isn't Don Draper, it's that other D-man, Duck Phillips.
Everything okay?
He offers her a job, but she gives him one instead.
Harry, you are not in this process. You're a spectator, don't forget it.
So that covers all the main players. Now it's time to catch up with Don busting that mighty move, which will rocket us into season 4. This was the finale to end all finales.
Conrad Hilton told me PPL is being sold and us along with it.
Don saw that the British were taking no prisoners and Sterling Cooper was going to be executed.
Fire us, sever our contracts, let us go.
So he took his bat and ball, didn't go home, he hit a home run, setting up his own ad agency and calling it Sterling Cooper Draper Price, taking the best staff with him, Jerry Maguire style. And a few others that while he's not that fond of them, it's a smart move to take them with him.
Shoes outside the door here, somebody polishes them.
That's the Mad Men story so far. So what's next? Well, it's a fresh start for Don Draper.
Well, I don't do that for everyone.
And it all kicks off 8:30 Thursday, September 2. Hot from the US, the latest season of the Emmy Award-winning Mad Men, only on Movie Extra.